R2 the dog. I ain't even been feeling like doing this. But let's get it. Yeah. It's probably the real level up. BIP Red Dog 1.
The O is for the 16 ounces that's in the whole pound. They really out here feeling my music. Shout out the whole town. K is for the killers I know who keep the 4 pound. You give an inch, he taking the mile like it was 4th down. The L is for the ladies for sure. I mean the real ones who out here working hard for they.
What's up, world? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy R2, and we back with another banger. You know what I'm saying? So grab your popcorn and your cold drink and go on over there and hit that like button. Then hit that subscribe button. And after that, hit that bell so when I drop these bangers, you be one of the first ones to put your eyes on it. You know what I'm talking about? Excuse me, y'all. But yeah, what's cracking? What's good, y'all, man? Let's get it in. First and foremost, man, I want to thank the supporters, man. Thank the subscribers. Thank the people who support the channel. Appreciate the people who comment, man, who likes on the videos, man. I appreciate y'all, man. The fact checkers in the comments, what's cracking, what's good. I definitely appreciate y'all, man. Like I told y'all, man, y'all need to kind of, you know what I mean, take a little bit off of it, but it's good though, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's all helping us get to the goal. You feel me? And like I said, man, y'all the fuel to the fire, and plus we can't forget about that bag. You understand me? Because that's definitely the main goal when I get on here and do these videos. You feel me? So yeah, man, without further ado, we finna jump right into it. Today's video is an update on T Hood, man. This situation is getting kind of messy. We got some more clips for y'all, some more stuff for y'all to check out. His family members is pressing the issue, you understand, because supposedly, you know, it was a domestic dispute, you know, and it you know, as far as the people who were there, like I said in the last video, the people who were there are going to be very important on this case, you know what I'm saying? Because yeah, true enough, the stuff gotta, you know, it gotta make sense. But if it was, you know, if he was at his crib, you know, he got into it with his girlfriend, which is, you know what I mean, which is the daughter, you know, of Rashida and Kirk, and she called her brother, you know, because this whole situation stems from a previous, you know, domestic dispute between the deceased and his female, which is Rashida and Kirk's daughter, and she called her brother, you know what I mean? But supposedly after he, you know, did what he did, he went and got his other brother and they came back. Or after they got into it or had a dispute or whatever, he went and got his other brother and they came back. You know what I mean? And then something ended up happening to my guy. You know what I mean? Like I said in the last video, our condolences to T Hood and his family. You know what I mean? He seemed like a super cool dude. Definitely seemed like he, you know what I mean? He was an upcoming artist, definitely motivated to get out here and get this paper. And anybody who got enough courage to get in front of the world and express your talents and, you know, if you got the heart to get up there on that stage and grab that microphone, man, salute to you, because, you know, I've been there and done it, you know what I'm saying? And it takes a different kind of person. It takes a lot of courage to get up there in front of a lot of people, or in front, it don't matter if you're in front of 2 people or if you're in front of 2,000. It takes a lot of people, a lot of courage to get up there, you know what I mean, and do your stuff, you know what I mean? So shouts out to T Hood, man. You know, I'm not sure what kind of domestic dispute that they had, but man, it didn't deserve this, because if she ain't beat up and black eye and bruised lipped and it's visible that he was just beating on her, manhandling her, you know what I'm saying? I don't see a reason to want to do something to this young man, you know what I mean? Because like that's the only kind of way, you know, that I would, in my opinion, that would kind of, you know, I could kind of understand, you know what I mean? Like if his sister, like if they sister was beat up real bad, black eye, busted lip, you know what I mean? Dude was just going crazy, you know what I mean? Going super ham on her, you know what I'm saying? Like then I could kind of understand. But, you know, seeing is that she, you know, it don't seem like there's nothing wrong with her, you know what I'm saying? Like they may have had a little spat or whatever, you know what I mean? Mush face or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You know how couples get, you feel me? Especially nowadays with all the toxic behavior going on, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't see a reason to, you know, want to hurt the man and take his life, you understand? So, you know, I'm just kind of, you know, confused these days, man, with the way that the world is going, man. We always saying RIP to somebody, and it's always over some crazy stuff, you understand? Like, a female and her boyfriend going back and forth and having a little dispute or argument or whatever, even if it get a little physical or whatever, that's their business. You know what I'm saying? Now, if my sister come home, busted up, beat up, bruised lip, you know what I mean, that type of, severity, then, we press further. But, as far as, just a little simple going back and forth, and it seemed like the sister didn't even, she didn't even want it to crack like that. You know what I mean? Because she like, well, we going to check out the clip. Anyway, let's run the clip, man.
I don't know. They maybe have the wrong information. They tried to find him. They sent the little SWAT team with the little shit with the big iron. They came and he was taken into handcuffs. I told you that on the phone. I don't condone that shit. I don't give a fuck whether or not. Like, I hear what y'all are saying, but y'all, like, you can't, like, I don't condone that shit. It's more to the story, so I don't.
Well, I don't understand how they would let him out if you told them that your brother shot Tevin. They wouldn't. They supposed to have him. Okay, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna find out.
So, yeah, please do it. Like, I'm asking the same questions. What I'm saying is, like...
Okay, when can we get his things, Kay?
See, the family, they pressing the issue. You know what I mean? Like, why would they let him go if you corroborated, what we already know is that, they was out of line for doing what they did. You know what I'm saying? Why would they let him go? But I tell you what, I know what happened. I know what happened. The people that was there, that's only, he's not alive to defend himself, man. He's deceased. So whatever story that they came up with, told to the police, it got him let go immediately. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yeah, it's self-defense. They made up a story to where he was doing something to her, you know what I'm saying? Or he was acting irate, or he was acting aggressive, you know what I'm saying? And we don't know if they found a gun on him, but he was at home. So I'm pretty sure, it just makes sense for him to have a gun in his house to protect his crib. So I'm wondering, did they plant his gun on him or something and make it look like he was being aggressive? You know what I'm saying? Because if it's only that side of the family there, the girl's side of her family and her family, and he ain't got nobody there on his side to validate, and he's not here to defend himself, then whatever story that they told the police, that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? Is how I'm looking at it, especially if it's being looked at as self-defense. Yeah, that's the story that they told him. You know what I'm saying? And the girlfriend, she stuck with the story because these is her brothers. Let's be honest. She ain't fit to roll over on her brothers. Now, the way she was sounding in that phone call, she sounded like she's real concerned and that she's asking the same question as the family's asking. But let's be honest. You understand, if you was pressing the same line as the family, you the girlfriend, you was there. You know what I'm saying? So it's not adding up. You know what I mean? And it sounds like the family, they trying to get his things, trying to get his belongings or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And it's just a whole big mess. You know what I'm saying? And, it's speculation that Rashida and Kirk helped facilitate it. Like, the kids called them in panic and, they may have helped them out, or maybe, tried to keep it quiet as long as they could, because as what I'm hearing is that the ambulance and the 911 response team was not called immediately. You understand? It was some time in between the 911 call. So, they had to get their story together. That's how I'm looking at it. You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. If it's me, my brother, and my sister, and this dude that she dating, and something happened between them, and she called me in a frantic panic, and I pull up and do this cat, you understand me? We gotta it gotta be the same. We gotta stick to the same story. Something, because it gotta be enough reason for me to do something to this man. So we gotta make it look like, our story gotta be he was aggressive towards us or towards me, and I had to do something to him. You understand? A fight or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So now it's self-defense because they looking at it as self-defense, and I don't think that's fair because it's like, it's only that side. It was only the girl and her brothers, you know what I mean, to corroborate the story. It's nobody on his side to defend or, to contest or, to go against what they saying. So on the flip side, that's a clear-cut case, open and shut, right? If it's only them to confirm what happened. He's deceased. They can say whatever they want. They can say he was being aggressive. They can say he was threatening them. They can say he was saying he was going to hurt somebody. He ain't here to defend himself. You understand? That's what I'm getting at. So it's kind of tricky. I got another clip. Let's check it out.
Police say a rapper's shooting death may have been self-defense. Friday night, police found Tevin Hood shot at a home on Lee Road near Snellville. Hood was an Atlanta rapper known as T Hood. Officers say the man who shot him did stay on the scene. They say the shooting all stemmed from a domestic disturbance that left a woman hurt. Police say the gunman arrived at the home and appears to have shot Hood in the driveway.
Shot him in the driveway. And they saying it's self-defense. You know what I mean? Nobody's there to defend this man. The family is concerned. The family, you know, by all rights, they have the right to feel the way that they feeling. They feel like, I'm sure they feeling like, y'all killed my baby, man. You know, shouts out, you know, condolences to his mother, love to his mother, you understand? And his people, man. His kids, if he got any. You know what I'm saying? Just condolences, man, because it's like, damn, my son or my cousin or my brother done been killed, and it's nobody that was there from our family to confirm or, you know, contest the story that they putting out, which is saying that it's self-defense. You know what I mean? So he was being aggressive enough to want to do something to him, to want to kill him. You know what I mean? And it's seeming like it was a domestic dispute prior to this situation that you know, ignited this fire, you know what I mean, or caused this reaction. But I'm like, the daughter don't seem like she, you know, if she was beat up, bruised, and beat up badly, we would have been seeing them pictures hit the net. Those pictures would have been the first thing hit the net. You know what I'm saying? So I'm taking it as he didn't beat her, you know what I'm saying? Like beat her to where she just couldn't, you know what I mean? To where she had to call her brother and tell her brother, hey man, this dude just beat me to a pulp. I need you to come and assist me. You know what I mean? I need you to come save me. You know what I'm saying? So did he really put his hands on her, or was it just a, you know what I mean? Like a bull crap, you know, spat, a normal spat between two people that really care about each other? Because the way she was talking on that phone call, like she's not even, like she's not on that side. Like she didn't want nothing to happen to him. That's the way she's talking, you know what I'm saying? But she could just be saying that to them and going about it a whole nother way. But see, the thing about today is everything's recorded. Even on iPhones now, you can record conversations. So I'm sure, you know, she's seen it by now. It's all over the internet, the conversation. You know what I mean? So that's just proof of her saying that, you know, she's asking the same questions that the family's asking. So if she's not really sticking to that story, you know what I mean, then what's going on? You understand? And they talking about they looking at it as a self-defense. Was it really self-defense? She was there. I'm pretty sure she's supposed to be able to, you know, give us some insight on what's going on or what actually happened. You understand? Let's check out this next clip, man.
All right, man, I'm just bringing it to you. Streets is talking. Everybody keeps sending me this shit. I'm going to go on over it, man. All right, Streets work 85 North. I don't know how credible that is. I ain't fact checking it. You fact check it, all right? But I'm going to bring you what people are saying out this bit. So this, what is this? Comments? Caption section. There we go. Huge update in the T Hood murder case down in Georgia. Cops have identified their top suspect, and he is the son of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta stars Kirk and Rashida Frost. TMZ obtained the incident report from the rapper Sling, and the Gwinnett County Police Department says their primary suspect is Kai Lasheed Frost. As we reported, T Hood was shot at his Georgia home Friday, and he later died. It's since been revealed T Hood was dating Kirk and Rashida's daughter. And now cops say the rapper was shot in a domestic dispute, and they have fingered Kirk and Rashida's son as their suspect. They fingered him as their suspect? We could have used a different word right there, but they saying it was this little boy right here now. And they saying he shot him and then he went and got his older brother. And they came back. And nobody called the police for T Hood. Even though he was shot, didn't nobody call the police. They said the police call came from a different area. Didn't even come from the crib. I ain't gonna go too deep into this because we ain't got nothing concrete right now, but there's a lot of buzz on the street. I'm in Atlanta, bro. Look, I'll say this, man. We ain't deserve to lose T Hood, man. And then this nigga gonna be the one to take T Hood life, bro. I ain't even gonna go there right now, bro. I ain't even gonna go there right now. But I'm just bringing it to y'all. Y'all know how I go. Peace.
So, y'all see what's going on, you know what I mean? And like he said, man, on the streets of Atlanta, shouts out to Atlanta, man. Shouts out to the ATL, man. Big ups to the ATL. I mess with the ATL the long way, man. Gucci Mane is my favorite artist. Shouts out to Guwap, you know what I'm saying? The GOAT, man, the best there ever was, you understand me? But shouts out to Atlanta. But as far as the buzz on the street is that it didn't go the way, you know, everybody is assuming that it went. You understand me? Like the narrative that they paint that it was a self-defense, and you notice that it says a possible self-defense. If it was proof, clear-cut case proof that, you know, it was actually self-defense, you know what I mean, and the evidence and the crime scene depicted that, it would be, you know what I mean, it would be more concrete in the wording, you understand? But right now, it's a lot of speculation going on. It's a lot of, you know, he say, she say, you know, were Rashida and Kirk involved in this in any kind of way? We don't know. You know what I mean? We still speculating. We still looking it in. We still taking it day for day. And the information that we get, you know, we gonna relay it to y'all. You know what I mean? But as of right now, the facts that we do know is Kai, Rashida and Kirk's son, Kai. He put this young man down. You understand? He murdered this young man. Now, if it was in self-defense, we don't know. We still waiting to hear exactly, you know what I mean? But the streets is talking, man. The streets is talking, and the streets always talk. Let's be honest. The streets always talk, man. You know what I mean? Like, anytime something happened, the streets know what happened before anything. You understand? The streets always know what's up. And if these dudes didn't like this dude for whatever reason, you know what I mean? Maybe, you know, just because he was dating their sister, you know what I mean? And maybe they had got into it before and, you know, they just wasn't feeling him. You know what I mean? Maybe they just wasn't feeling him. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you keep getting into it with our sister, man. We told you, like, the next time, you know what I mean, you get into it with our sister, or if you put your hands on our sister, bro, we're going to be back through here. You understand me? It could have been one of them situations. You know what I'm saying? They could have just maybe got tired of, you know, just dealing with dude. You know what I mean? And so who knows? But, you know, like I said, man, T Hood, he didn't deserve to lose his life, man, especially if the sister is okay. She sounds okay to me. You know what I mean? She wasn't pressing the issue on the phone saying that he beat me and he did this and that. And she wasn't frantic in any kind of way. She wasn't aggressive in any kind of way. She was, you know, sound like she was concerned as well as the family is concerned. You understand? So, you know, we got another clip that we're going to check out, and then we're going to, you know what I mean, we're going to keep rocking and rolling. So let's check it out.
We always was the fun niggas. Like, we the ones who buy the bars out.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, we were the ones that, you know, for a long time, like, we just, wherever we at, we all that shit. Wherever we at, we getting bottles. We having fun, bro.
Everywhere we go. So that's
everywhere we go.
Niggas, that's why niggas be respecting the situation, because they know the situation is like, okay, they from the hood, but they having fun.
Yeah.
So it's like, we gonna just respect what they doing regardless anyway, because they just who they is, and we just, you know what I'm saying?
And I ran that clip just so y'all can get an idea of who T Hood was, man. It seemed like he was a real cool dude, you know what I mean? Seemed like he had a good head on his shoulders, you know what I'm saying? Just to be able to get up on an interview and articulate yourself and be able to, you know, sit and speak on camera, you know what I mean, and get your point across, man. You got to be some kind of an intelligent person, you understand? And, you know, he seemed like he was real talented, you know what I mean? Hey, definitely, I want y'all to go stream his music, man. Go stream all of T Hood's music, man. So, you know, in hopes that his family, you know, can be able to still be able to, you know, make some, you know, some ciabatta off of his music, his hard work, you know what I'm saying? So it won't all be in vain, you understand? So everybody who watching this, man, anybody who subscribes, anybody who tapped in with me, man, y'all go stream T Hood's music, man. Go stream T Hood for sure. Artist out of Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Smart young dude, you know what I mean? Messing with a chick, you know what I mean, who happens to be Rashida and Kirk's daughter, and it just so happened that they may or may not have got into a domestic dispute, you know what I mean, and she called her brothers, and, you know, the rest is history, you know what I mean? He was fatally unalived a few days ago in his driveway at his home in Georgia. And man, it's just, you know, the streets of Atlanta is hurt, man. T Hood was definitely a pillar of his community. He definitely had love in Atlanta. It shows, you see it all over the internet, you know what I mean? I got a lot of comments on the first video that I did about T Hood when it first happened, you know what I mean? Everybody was kind of, you know what I mean, just down about the situation because obviously T Hood was a somebody in Atlanta. You understand? He was an up and coming artist. And you know, they say you got to put your city on your back first before you go blow. And I think, you know, he was making major steps into completing that, you know, accomplishing that goal by putting Atlanta on his back because he got a lot of love in Atlanta, man. A lot of love in Atlanta. And we definitely, once again, want to send shouts outs to his family, condolences to his mother, to his father, you know what I mean, his aunts, uncles, all of his family, man. We send our condolences to y'all. And once again, I want everybody to go stream T Hood, man. If you find a video on YouTube, stream it, like it up, spam it up, comment it up. You know what I mean? Anything to help this young man and his family be able to, you know, get some coin, you know, from the hard work that he was out here doing. We salute him as an artist. We salute him as a person, as a black brother. You know what I mean? All of that. You know, and it's just an unfortunate situation, you know what I mean? And we always, when I do these videos, we always talk about what can we learn from this situation. And, man, just like I said before, man, you know, minimize, let's normalize young men and young women getting along with each other, man. You know what I mean? When you find a woman, that's supposed to be your safe space. Young men, don't go for the loud, ratchet, you know what I'm saying, messy females, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, they cool to play around with, but it stops at playing around. You understand? That's not somebody that you want to build a life with. You understand? And you definitely got to be safe and looking in at all times. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying T Hood put his hands on this woman in no kind of way, shape, or form. Am I saying that? But what I'm saying is just young men, don't put your hands on these women, man. If you feel like you got to put your hands on her, just leave her alone. You know what I mean? Because if you got to beat her, you don't need her. That's facts. You know what I mean? And because you see how sticky these situations can get. You know what I mean? Everybody got somebody that loved them. I preach that. You understand? Everybody got somebody that loved them. You feel me? And if you putting your hands on these women, you dead wrong. You understand? You do not got to beat these women, fam. If you got to beat her, you might as well just go ahead and leave her alone, bro. It ain't worth it. It's definitely not worth a felony, and it's definitely not worth losing your life because some females' brothers want to feel like they want to do something to you because you may or may not put your hands on they sister. You understand? Just don't even leave it up for question. You know what I mean? Just don't do it at all, period. And if a woman is getting loud with you and y'all getting into an altercation and you just get an itch that it may become physical, remove yourself from the situation immediately, young man. Remove yourself from the situation immediately because it's going to put you in a trick bag. You understand? You either going to get hurt or you're going to have to hurt somebody, you know what I mean? And then if you have to hurt somebody, then you got to go up the road and she going to be on to the next, you know what I mean, swinging D. And everybody know what I'm saying when I say that. You feel me? So it's definitely not worth it. You know what I mean? Young men, know your worth. Young women, know your worth. You know what I mean? If you with somebody that be kicking your ass and putting his hands on you, you don't deserve that. Get away from that. You know what I mean? Because one day it could lead to him, you know, trying to unalive you or him being successful at unaliving you. You understand what I'm saying? And before it gets to that point, we need to catch that at the bud. You know what I'm saying? Women, keep your hands off men. Men, keep your hands off of females. That'll solve it. That'll solve a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? I can't say it'll solve it all, but that'll solve a lot of things. You understand? And man, that's today's episode, man. I definitely appreciate y'all rocking out with me. We're a couple minutes short, but it's good. I ain't gonna talk y'all's ear off, man. I had to get today's episode out. We over 20 minutes, so it's good. To the supporters, I appreciate y'all, man. The constructive criticism is through the roof. I appreciate y'all, the fact checkers. Even though it irks my nerves, I rock with y'all, man. You know what I mean? I can't even argue with me. If I got something wrong and you called it out, I appreciate it. You understand? I can't argue with you because if I was wrong, I was wrong. I take accountability, but like I said, I'm not Channel 9 News. You dig what I'm saying? I'm just a young black brother trying to get some paper. You understand me? So, yeah, man, with that being said, definitely appreciate everybody. Y'all the reason I do this. And don't forget about that bag because that's definitely number one priority when I do this. But, yeah, man, like I said, I appreciate y'all. It's much love. And, you know, until next time, it's your boy R2. Peace, love, one.